Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Bobby Spencer from Hollow Wake, and this is yet another episode of Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Yet another one. Here we are. Bobby, thank you so much, man, for coming on this and hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. There's a lot of things you can be doing on a Tuesday night, and you're
Yeah,
here with and you're here with all of us. I appreciate that.
yeah,
Cool. You are with Hollow Wake. For anybody who doesn't know who Hollow Wake is, what can you tell us about you guys?
yeah, for sure. Hollow Wake is primarily a metalcore slash rock band. We're based out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Hell
We
yeah, I
do.
love Nashville.
It's such a great
I
city.
was just there last year. Actually, almost about a year ago. I was there last Halloween, and I had the
Oh,
best time.
cool.
I had the best time. It was my first
Halloween's a
time
good
there.
time.
I remember telling myself, I said, if I ever move to Nashville, I am dropping everything, and I'm just going to do music because that is Nashville.
It
Music
is
is
a
Nashville.
really, yeah, it really is. I mean, it's definitely growing, like every day. Traffic is getting worse by the minute, but it's okay. Yeah, it's mainly definitely a music town. And the cool thing about Nashville that people don't understand because like maybe they just visit Broadway and they're like, oh, country music and stuff. Like there's like amazing artists from like alternative rock to metal to punk to even like dancey 80s vibes and like R&B. It's a very big music town.
Yeah. So how does it feel, playing shows in Nashville and being from there? Because I know that, like you said, Nashville. You think of country, you think of kind of like
Mhm.
classical rock and roll. Um, when you are doing a metalcore style sound out in Nashville, do you feel that that helps kind of separate you guys from everybody else out there, or is there also like a big metalcore scene out there too?
It really depends. There is a metalcore scene. There's metal in general and different genres of metal out here for sure. I think the main thing that separates us is we we really take a lot of genres and we bend them.
Mm.
So Josh, the my guitarist and partner in the business area, he actually we're big fans of 80s, like 80s rock. We share the love for the Outfield, which is like the band that's like I don't want to lose your love tonight. So like that style of music, that like 80s pop, it just finds its way kind of in our production a lot of times with like the
Okay.
synth and the synth pop elements. So we do kind of genre bend a lot. So if we're not, if we're playing a show and it's more so with like straight metal, that's cool because we'll still stand out. And then if we're playing with like a little bit more easy core, again, there's a lot of like variation that Hollow Wake brings that we can kind of fit in where we want to fit in.
That's great. I mean, that means you can almost kind of jump on any kind of bill that's out there. It kind of just brings
Yeah.
your band to like, oh, well, if we try to sound just like this, then we're going to be, subjected to like only these kind of fans, this kind of, genre of music festivals. But when you open it up and there's so much, it's like your band can do
Hmm.
this, you guys can do that, you guys can do that. And I'm sure you guys have already kind of seen a big benefit from that.
We definitely have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from playing, recently we played, my wife, she hosts a mental health songwriters nights here in Nashville.
Amazing.
And
I'd love to talk to her at some point.
yeah, no, you will. I'll definitely connect you. I'll definitely connect you. She's an artist as well, so that would be awesome.
Nice. Very cool.
But yeah, she hosts that, and they had their first festival, and so we closed out the acoustic stage, which we were debating. We were like, do we do the heavy? Do we do the acoustic? And we decided let's just do the acoustic, and kind of break down the lyrics really intimately and everything, kind of like what we're gonna do now.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we can fit in where we really want to fit in, whether it be like broken down set acoustic style to big shows. You know, with the last show we played was with the Word Alive, and or
Oh,
smaller
amazing! I love
venues and
them.
stuff like that. Yeah, no, they're awesome. So yeah, we have a very I wouldn't say niche, but we can fit in where we want to at least.
Cool. And so, how long have you guys been doing this for?
So we have been a band going on 3 years and some change, I think now. It
Cool.
kind of all blends together. Josh and I were in a band before this project, and it was named a whole nother name. And then we brought on uh, three more guys at that point, and we all decided on the name Hollow Wake, and we just kind of took off from there. Um, but before even that, like Josh and I have been playing music together for almost 8, 9 years now, something. So it kind of blends, but
Yeah.
Hollow Wake as a whole has been around about 3 years and some change.
Hollow Wake was destined to happen. It sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So why that name? What's the significance of Hollow Wake?
Yeah. So we have uh, the logo itself, which I mean, I just have it tattooed right there. So it's kind of a window and waves.
Mm.
Um, so the window is basically looking into yourself or looking out into the world, and then the waves is the ebbs and flow of everything going on. So we had the logo before we had the name, which is a little backwards, but I do branding for a living, so it kind of made sense in my head.
Cool.
So we were going through a ton of names, and we knew we wanted the water imagery, and so um, wake is when like water is still moving, but very solemnly moving. It's not like a huge wave. It's not anything that's like drastic. And then the word hollow kind of comes from the everyday, like I said, ebbs and flow of life. Sometimes it can feel empty, and a lot of our music kind of touches on that emptiness and that heaviness of life instead of
Nice.
like
I love it.
everything's going to be okay, because I
Yeah.
believe it will, but you still have to go through a season.
Yeah. Definitely. One thing that I wanted to touch back on really quick from what you just said that
Yeah.
stood out to me a little bit was the water.
Mm,
Um, there's something special about water, isn't there?
it really is. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Cleansing.
yeah,
Yeah. It's something spiritual and
yeah,
also physical that comes
yeah,
together all at once.
yeah. I started to notice it. It just actually just this year specifically, I noticed that my mind is just at peace when I'm around water.
Yeah.
And I was in I was in Greece a couple months ago,
Ooh.
and my wife and I went to Athens, and we went to
Okay.
Poseidon's temple.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
I have always just felt just like this connection with Poseidon, the god of
Hmm.
water. Um, just being surrounded by it and just kind of letting it guide you in life, letting it guide your
Yeah.
journey. That kind of wave, it comes crashing, but it's also very peaceful after the crash. It's kind of
Yes.
peaceful, and you can
Yeah.
take water as just a huge kind of metaphor for life. I love it.
You definitely can. And I mean, when my wife and I went 2 years ago, we went to Hawaii. Like that's their whole world is basically like water and how it moves you and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it really spoke to both of us, but it spoke to me personally because, yeah, I'm the same way. Like whenever I'm around water, I just feel very at peace, whether it's in a swimming pool or whether even when it was swimming with a shark. Like I
Nice.
was at peace. I was just like, this is really calming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, now knowing that little background history of just the name gets me excited to listen to the music even more.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah! So we are here because of a song called "Upside Down,"
Yeah.
and it's pretty special for a lot of reasons, and one of them is because it was the first ever song that this band ever wrote together.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit of the history of Upside Down, and you just this year came out with a reimagined version of the
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this upside down journey.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. Um, so the Josh and I used to be in a like pop punk kind of band. Um, this was the first band that we were in together, and I hadn't just moved to Tennessee because I'm originally from Washington D.C. area, but it was maybe like a year or so, and I'm originally a drummer. I've been playing drums for like 23 or 4 years now. But when I moved here, I didn't have a drum set to practice in an apartment at least. And so I was like, all right, I need to buy a guitar. So I bought an acoustic guitar and I just started learning and writing and these chords that, again, I wasn't taught how to play guitar. I just kind of did it by ear. And so I was like, oh, that's a chord. That sounds nice. And then just kept on building it from there. And that was like the birth of Upside Down. And
Okay.
so once I had, it was one of my first ever songs that I wrote, and I was really proud of it. And so I brought it to once I joined this pop punk band, I brought it to them, and they were stoked on it. And it was the first song that they had that actually had like screaming in it because I had everything worked out. And so we played that song in that band, but then that band broke up, didn't come out with any music or anything like that, publicly at least, on albums or anything. And so I took that song and I was like, well, this is my song. I'm going to take it back. So,
This is
uh,
mine. You can't have it.
kind of, yeah. I mean, the band like dissolved anyway. So I was just
Yeah.
like, they're not going to use it. This is
Yeah.
mine. And there was two songs that I wrote for the band that I did the same thing that actually made it uh, into Hollowake as well. And the other one was The Things They Carry. Um, but yeah, Upside Down just kind of traveled with me. And so Josh and I, we started another band and the name was Causeway. And we were like, we know we want Upside Down to kind of come with us along the way. And we played a couple of acoustic shows and we rewrote it. We were going to re-release it. And it was about probably a year. This was all during like COVID. It was probably a year into COVID or so that I went away to go back home with my parents and just for Christmas. I was there and I was just thinking, I was like, I really enjoy playing music and I really enjoy, being a front man, but like Josh and I need a band. We need like other people in this thing to make it work. And so I got back, I talked to him, and we were like, okay, we need to start a band. And we got the members in the band. Some of them are no longer in the band anymore. Jake is actually one of the original of Hollowake, so he's our bassist. But yeah, we brought Upside Down into Hollowake, and we essentially had all the parts kind of written out, but to find the members, we were like, yeah, let's basically take out the bass and send it to this person who wants to learn or be in the band. So they had the drums, they had the guitar, they had my vocals, they just didn't have bass. So we could at least see what each member was going to bring to the table.
That's smart. Yeah.
And bring into what like Hollowake would sound like. And so after we found our members, we loved what they came up with individually, and we were like, let's record this thing. So we knew Upside Down would be the first release that we would do, and so we got in a recording studio, we recorded it, and yeah, we released it. The reaction of new fans were extremely well received.
Amazing.
And it was just the start of something really amazing that I'm incredibly proud of. And fast forward even now, like we just came out with a reworked version of Upside Down. The way that you know, Josh and I had already always imagined it, we were able to take and like hone it in on from what it was to, you know, better production, better, you know, mixing and mastering and all that, and just really bring it to the level of which Hollow Wake is at the moment. And we were really proud of that. And we were also just like, you know what, screw it. Let's do an acoustic version. Let's do a reimagining version because that's what we played when we were an acoustic band.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we came out with the Upside of Hell, which has Upside Down reworked and Upside Down reimagined along with two other songs. And the reaction still has just been genuinely awesome.
Very cool.
Upside Down has just stuck with us for a long time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you took the song and made it what you've always wanted to. And so I'm sure your fans and the people who are just now finding out about you can hear the kind of passion in the music.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. And see the journey of how long it took. And I love how you started it with saying, I just bought a guitar one day.
Yeah.
And then now, you know, here we are talking about this one song that has like traveled with you and been with you for, you know, this whole journey. I think that's really special. It's just, and it's a good story of like, you don't need, like, if you want to be in a band and play music, you don't have to have everything planned out and, you know, have a schedule and have just get an instrument. You don't need the lessons. Try to figure it out yourself, like how you did.
Yeah.
You're like, I bought a guitar, I learned how to play it, and I wrote a song, and now I'm in a band. Like, like it sounds all so easy and doable, and it is. It is in a way where it's like anybody can go and buy a guitar and learn how to play it, but it's how you like create these things and how the passion works and the journey that it takes from it. And I don't know, it's overall just a really cool story, and I like how it all like has worked out for you, and how you go back and you be like, you know what, this is the song that started it all, let's do it justice. And so it shows you appreciate not just the art, but you appreciate and love what you are doing, like your art. You know, and that's always the goal of it. Like you want to be able to listen to your music. Like if you're having a tough time, the first song you should want to put on is yours. You know, and it's like you love what you're doing, and it shows. So that's
definitely. It's always traveled with me. It was the first song that I pieced together and really felt connected to and proud of. Like obviously as a little kid, I grabbed my mom's guitar and would just like play around with it, not knowing what I'm doing. Probably sounded like crap. But the passion was there. And so when I finally moved and I didn't have my drum set, I was like, all right, let's do this thing. Let's learn how to play guitar. And you know, that was really special to me that Josh wanted to do a reworked version of Upside Down, because I think that song means a lot to him as well when it comes to the birth of Hollow Wake and how long we've been playing that song together. It's definitely a connection that we share to that song, and just the it's a fan favorite. Anytime we play it live, we see people sing along to it, which, with being it as old as it is, I would hope so. But you know, it's still very much amazing. The feeling, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Yeah, you talk about how it's a fan favorite. You know, fans are singing along to it. You did a reimagining to it. It's something that keeps you and your bandmates close. I mean, just the first thing that comes to mind is just power of music.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
the power of music's right there.
Yeah, the power of music, and it, you know, we'll dive into the lyrics, you know, in a bit, but like, I think music transcends lyrics, obviously, because I can listen to a band from Japan, not knowing what they're saying, and be like, this is sick. Like it makes me feel
Yeah,
something.
it makes you exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like orchestral music, like I'm a huge nerd, so I love Final Fantasy or like orchestra and like
Hell
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts orchestra. And like so when I listen to it, I just like one, I get transported back to when I'm playing those games at like 10 years old, but also it just makes me feel something.
Yeah.
So like I think when they hear a certain pattern that they one like resonate with them, and also just the passion that they share with the music, it connects to Hollow Wake in such a special way, and I'm very grateful for our fans.
Yeah, I think one of the words that come to mind right now is kind of just nostalgia.
Yeah,
You know, the whole nostalgia of it, and just seeing from this weekend, that the massive When We Were Young fest that happens every
yeah,
year in
yep,
Vegas, and how you look at that lineup, and most of those bands haven't put a new track out in over 10 years.
yeah, it's
You know,
true.
you have Good Charlotte playing. You have Panic at the Disco, who just came back out of retirement to play something, and they don't even want to hear anything new. They want to hear like Lifestyle of the Rich and the Famous by Good
Yeah,
Charlotte. They want to
yeah,
hear the Ballad of Mona Lisa by Panic, and like all the old stuff. And it's just it's nostalgia. It's you put a song on and it takes you back to just a happier time.
yeah.
Well, it can.
It did well. Yeah, I can
It
do the
can.
opposite too.
But it can also do the opposite. Again,
Yeah,
our music.
our
It's
music.
it can do the opposite.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
cool. Well, yeah. So, like I said, we are here for Upside Down. I think you've given us some cool background on it, and I think we're good to kind of let's dive into it, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little funny story about the music video here as well. We did it all ourselves,
Oh,
and
did you?
yeah, we because I do videography and everything as
Oh,
well.
hell yeah,
So
me too.
oh, sick. So yeah, I was like, okay, perfect. You know, no problem. Well, it was during the close to the end of summer, and yeah, so there were people at that lake. There was fishing, there were boats going by,
Yeah,
there's like people laughing, and I'm like, the laughing isn't gonna matter because like the music's gonna be over top of it.
yeah.
But like because it in post and like editing and stuff, I was like cutting it and I was like boat going by, I'm like, god dang it. Like it was a very much fun
You didn't
and yet frustrating edit for sure.
you didn't you didn't lock down those film permits
Not at a
to
lake.
keep all the boats and people away? Nothing. Oh man.
No, no, yeah, it was it was like the solemn part of a song, and I'm singing, and then like these people on like a kayak are just like in the background, and I'm just like
They're like all laughing, having a great.
start over it, yeah. And then people are like, "What is this guy doing in the water?" Because I'm standing like waist high in the water, singing to a camera. So they have their cameras out, and I'm just like, "This is ridiculous."
I wonder what I wonder what their post was. They probably posted you and were like, "Wonder what this guy's doing."
Yeah, who's this goofball?
All right, everyone. This is Upside Down, the reimagined version by Hollow Wake. Let's break it down.
The moon is out, the crowds all gather around. I can hear them laughing and their shrieking sounds. And like a black mass, the service has begun.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. The moon is out, the crowds all gather around. I I can hear them laughing and their shrieking sounds, and like a black mass, the service has begun. Oof. It's already feeling a little heavy on this first half of the verse here.
Yeah.
The moon is out, the crowds all gather around. Are you kind of saying they come out at something comes out at night? Something comes out during the darkness?
Yes.
What is that?
Okay, so the the song entirely is about a person who is dealing with addiction, and I wrote it from my own personal struggle back then. I struggled with pornography addiction, and so every time that I engaged in my addiction it just felt like that paranoia of these the temptation, the things that wanted me to like look at these things and engage in that addiction, and those were like the creatures that basically were like clawing at me, and so yeah, like at night is the saying like nothing good happens after 12 o'clock. It was kind of a play on that, where like the moon is out and the crowds all gather around. They're waiting for me to slip up. They're waiting for me to like jump back into my addiction. And then that like pull from like the dopamine rush of being like, getting pulled into that desire, that is the I can hear them laughing and their shrieking sounds. And then like a black mass, the service has begun. From a religious standpoint, like mostly church is a place of like peace and comfort. And so I chose to flip that upside down, all pun intended, and make it a black mass. And the unfortunate part of addiction is sometimes you can say no and sometimes you can't say no. And in the story, the character does not say no.
A lot of thoughts just came into my head during this, and I'm kind of trying to figure out which route to take it first. Addiction, we'll start there. Addiction's a scary thing. And scary is the right word for it. Terrifying is the right word for it, because it's literally something other than you telling you to do something that you shouldn't do.
Yes.
It's this specifically hits really heavy because I've struggled with addiction from a lot of different things, but one that I'm still kind of dealing with and struggling with is alcohol. And there was a time not too long ago where I got really drunk and I felt that I wasn't even in my body anymore.
Yes.
That something else was doing things and saying things that I would never say, that I would never do, and making decisions, and just, I don't know. I'm kind of going too deep into my own thing, but you talk about, I hear them laughing and their shrieking sounds like a black mass. The service has begun. Fighting off those temptations. It's not even a temptation. It's kind of I almost kind of see it as fighting off evil.
Yeah.
And the black mass, and and it comes to church and religion, and I use the word evil very intentionally because I do feel like with addiction there is something there trying to take control of you that's other than yourself, that's stronger than yourself.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to deal with.
It definitely is. I appreciate you being open like this and talking about what you yourself have struggled with, and I think it is, it is an evil thing that can grasp you and pull you into the addiction. And I don't personally think drinking is wrong, but there is a line
Yeah.
that once you cross it, then it's just like, oh man, like I'm not myself. um and so when it comes to any sort of addiction, I wanted to showcase that feeling of like the stage has been set and the dopamine rush is like coming in, and like when that happens, it's almost like you don't feel like you're in control.
Yeah. And when you say black mass, the service has begun, it almost makes it seem like you're setting the tone already for saying that this is something that is greater than us, that's greater than me, greater than this person. There's something that has begun. This service has begun, and there's some weight and heaviness there.
Yeah,
it's a great way to start off a track like this.
Thank you. Yeah, it's basically you yourself have become the sacrifice to these, we'll just call them demons for the sake of the song, because I do touch on that. So yeah, you have become the sacrifice for the black mass itself. You're not attending it. You are like the main course.
Yeah. Heavy. All right, well, let's keep listening to this, because I feel like it's just going to keep getting deeper and deeper, and I'm excited about it. All right.
A haunting feeling then comes over me. It seems my demons and these ghosts won't let me be. They keep crawling and clawing over my soul. They don't wanna seem to let me go. Just getting cold like a maze.
All right, well, let's break down the second half of this first verse here. A haunting feeling then comes over me. I like the word haunting.
Yeah.
It seems my demons and these ghosts won't let me be. Demons. Yep. They keep crawling and clawing over my soul. They don't want to seem to let me go. I feel that everything that we kind of just talked about with religion and internal demons and that addiction, that struggle, it's kind of just magnified here. When you talk about demons and ghosts and crawling and clawing, like it just seemed like this is this is more aggressive now. You took a more aggressive approach for this verse, for this part of the verse.
Definitely. I'm a huge, I wouldn't say like huge horror fan necessarily. Like I'm not.
Well,
a
you
slasher
should.
fan.
You should, because I am personally a huge horror fan too, and us horror fans, us horror geeks, need to stand together and unite and say we love our horror movies and be proud of it.
No, so here's the thing. There's a genre of horror movie that I love. So like slashers and stuff like that. Like I'm not really like. I'll watch like the old Freddy and Jason ones. Like those are totally cool. But I love possession movies, like The Exorcist and the Conjuring series. Like growing up in the church myself, I can connect with those a little bit more, even though like there may be some things that I'm just like, this is far-fetched, but I still really enjoy that like haunting aspect of it. And so it just kind of like when I was writing the song, it just kind of flowed from that. But yeah, so we already touched on like, the demons and stuff like that with the black mass. But the ghosts are essentially like my younger self. So like, in therapy and psychology and all that, we are operating as adults, but sometimes we aren't thinking like adults. And that's when our younger self is trying to pine for attention. And so the ghost of my younger self that maybe didn't get what he needed when he was younger is now trying to use the dopamine as an adult to get what he thinks he needs. And so that would be the line with the ghosts. And then clawing and crawling, wanting my soul and not wanting to let go and all that is it's just that haunting aggression that I feel from that pull to the addiction.
A lot of things to kind of uncover there. Yeah, I love The Conjuring. I love The Exorcist. Those movies have always been a huge staple. Well, Exorcist at least. Conjuring's a little bit newer. Do you know who Ed and Lorraine Warren are?
I do.
Yeah,
I've listened to many different podcasts.
Yeah. So recently I was in Connecticut, where they're from. I forget. I think it's Monroe, Connecticut, where they're from, and I went to their grave to go show respect to them, and I went to their house where Annabelle's at. I didn't go in the house. They used to have it as a museum, but they
not
there anymore. But Matt Rife, the comedian, just bought the rights to that house, and he wants to turn it back into a museum again. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, big news for horror geeks that museum's opening back up. Anyway,
wasn't there a guy who bought Annabelle or had Annabelle and ended up dying or something recently?
So she went on tour. There was like a traveling horror convention, and the Annabelle handler, he did nothing but just handle it, handle as in setting it up and taking care of it, being responsible for it. But yeah, during the tour, he passed away. I didn't really look too much into it. So I don't know how it happened and what the cause of death was, but it's kind of wild that the Annabelle handler died on the first time he took her on tour with him. So,
yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something there. It's very haunting, and these demons that took control of Annabelle need to stop. I'm I'm just stealing your song lyrics there.
It's all good.
I like that you wrote the ghosts. The ghost won't let me be, and it's your like younger self, and you start talking about how man, how did you word it? How it's the younger self is pining for the attention. Is that the word that you use? The attention and like the acknowledgement and stuff, and that really, and you talk about the dopamine for adults. That brings me back to one of the very first things we talked about here, and that is the feeling of nostalgia. Why we go to and see our favorite bands from 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It's that inner child in us. It's that inner like kid or child or teenager in us that just like is pining for those good days, those good feelings. Yeah. And it's like when you're singing along to those songs, you see people crying all the time, and it has nothing to do with the lyrics. It just takes them back. And I think that is a great callback in a song, for you to be able to acknowledge in this song and talk about it, if saying, there's a younger version of me that's not happy, or that wasn't happy, or that needs this attention, or needs this. And so now as an adult, I'm trying to navigate this thing, but there's these demons that don't want me to. There's these demons that are like telling me, no, go do this instead. You have an addiction. Like, just be you. Right. Let it control you. Like, this is what you like. Like, keep doing that. And there's all these things as we get older and that we pine for. But I think I think a lot of it is just when we're kids and children and teenagers, we're very innocent, and we're not thinking about bills and rent and life, and it's just about I don't know. I feel like when we're kids, we are so like we aim as adults to have the mindset as we did when we were kids. Like, have fun, go to Disneyland and run around, like listen to the music you love, watch the things you want to do, and throughout life, just like you start to lose track of all of that. And before you know it, you're a 35-year-old listening to Fat Lip by Sum 41, or like, and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
man, take me back to middle
Yeah.
school, to 6th grade, when that song was just the biggest thing, and that's all I cared about.
Yeah. And I think there's nothing wrong with like nostalgia. Like
No.
I'll use like Disney adults, for example. Like they have a passion. They love
Yeah.
Disney. They want to cry over Disney. That's totally cool. It's not me. But I no shame towards that at all. But like, there's nothing wrong with like living in nostalgia and like, collecting things that you loved when you were a kid. Like I grew
Yeah.
up watching anime. I love Bleach. I have an Ichigo pop figure there. So like that kind of stuff I enjoy. But
It's a good
I don't-
reminder.
It's a good reminder of like, how you were back then, and
Yeah.
like why you liked it, why you still like it. I think the balance that I'm always trying to grasp onto, especially with that stuff, is like, yes, I'm 35, I'm an adult, but at the same time, I still can enjoy Fat Lip. I still can enjoy this music and going to see these bands play and
Yeah.
feel that,
Yeah.
knowing next day I have to go back to work and I have bills. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a really good respect of balance there. And I
Yeah.
think when we lose sight of that balance, then we can start to lose sight of like even why we like that thing in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about like your little toys and stuff. I mean, I'm a 35-year-old who here's my Wolfman toy that I keep on my desk to
There you
remind
go.
myself why I love horror movies and
Yeah.
everything. So I get it, man. But yeah, no, it's remembering who you are is a big thing.
Hmm.
Don't lose that. I feel a lot of people do, because they feel I'm too old for this now, or
Right.
I'm too old for this toy.
Yeah.
I'm too old to be doing this or that. And it's like, or I should be this, I should be doing that. Where it's good to remember who you are, especially in the arts.
Yeah.
And you talk about how your music has a lot of different kind of genre bending styles and sounds, and one of the things that I wanted to say when you were talking about that was it's you.
Mhm.
The music's you. It's not you're not like, we're gonna do metalcore and this is what metalcore sounds like and this is the structure of it, so this is what we're gonna do because we want to be defined in this genre. It's no, like, we're gonna push boundaries, we're gonna test different things, and because we want to, like, not because we think we should or we want to be stand out in that way, but because we want to, like, let's just do, because especially in the arts and music, I mean, all this stuff, especially with the band, there's so much dedication to it, like your life, your blood, your soul, everything goes into this, and so you have to take it as a life or death thing, because it kind of is.
It definitely is.
And this is what you got, and so you have to, like, if you're not being true in it, it's not going to work. It's not going to last. It won't last.
No, that's well said. I think, I grew up wanting to be a skateboarder. So I was, a skater in high school. I was not very good. My passion wasn't really there. So it didn't last.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to have that passion for whatever it is, whether it be music, whether it be cooking, or I don't know, being a Disney adult. Like, you have to have those passions and the connection for sure. And I feel that very strongly when it comes to your mental health as well. Is you want to be the best that you can, so you can connect the best way to yourself. And sometimes, going back to the lyrics of like The Ghost, is you want to come alongside your younger self and say like, hey, I know that like X, Y, and Z happened, but like, look at where we're at. Like, look at where we're at now. Like, you're gonna be okay. Like, look at your future self. We're doing just fine. So I think nostalgia is a really amazing tool and I think it can be used in a very beautiful way as long as you don't like lose yourself completely into it.
Yeah, I agree. Very well said. Very,
Thank you.
very well said. I I try to. I don't do it a lot, but I try to. Whenever I'm feeling down or whenever I'm feeling unmotivated and doing something creative, I like to look at a baby picture of myself,
Oh, cool.
and I like to think, if I knew at this point where I would be right now, how would I feel? I'd be like, feeling pretty proud of myself right now that I've achieved all of this since I was in this moment.
Yeah.
And whenever I need some motivation, I'm like, okay, what would my younger self tell me? He would tell me, keep going. Keep it simple. You know what I mean? Just keep going.
Yeah.
I think remembering back to childhood and doing it for you, doing it for the right reasons, remembering who you are, it's very powerful. Very powerful. So I like these lyrics. The last thing I want to talk about in this before we continue is my mind went to, I heard haunting, crawling. The first thing that I kind of put in my mind was this maybe a little Linkin Park crawling call here? I got a little shout out to Chester Bennington, Linkin Park crawling there, or no?
No, unfortunately not. Not on this one.
Oh, okay.
I grew up listening.
I
to
can
Linkin
hear
Park,
Chester saying
but-
it's haunting, and
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this right here reminds me of crawling in Linkin Park. Talk about
That's
some
all-
nostalgia, huh?
That's cool, man. I appreciate that. No, there's no connection to Linkin Park on this song. But it's cool that like that's the power of music. Like if someone
Yeah.
is reminded of that, that's really cool.
Yeah, and so listening to this song, a reimagined version of this song in 2025, and this takes me not only back to my childhood. You talking about the ghosts and I think you bring me back to 2000 when Hybrid Theory came out. Man, this song's a powerful one to me, man. It's connecting. All right, well, let's keep listening to it.
Yeah.
Catacombs like a maze. Well, I keep running through them, trying to escape the haze. I keep trying to climb out of my 6'4" grave. But death around the corner, I can feel him there. It's like a mental disorder. I've lost the fight. I do this all the time. I look.
I like that little break there with the synths because I felt like saying that and all the words you just said, that was a moment of just let me breathe for a second.
Hmm.
And then you kind of get back into the singing. It's almost like you needed to get that out. I've lost the fight. I do this all the time. Like you're pissed. You're pissed off with yourself. And you're just like, okay, just breathe. I don't know. I felt like the structure of the song there, and where the synths came in, and where it kind of died off. That I just felt like that was just a minute to breathe for a second before you continue telling your story.
It is a minute to breathe, not only
Yeah.
in lyrics and like emotion, but also for me singing, because in the actual version of the song, it's faster, and there's a lot of like me going from clean singing to screaming, so like having that moment to breathe is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
And it gives you time when you're singing it live to catch your breath.
Exactly. So it works all
there you go.
in all frames.
Yeah. These catacombs like a maze. And I keep running through them trying to escape the haze. I keep trying to climb out of my 6'4" grave. 6'4". I gotta get back to you on that. With death around the corner. I can feel him there. It's like a mental disorder. Him. We gotta talk about that. Who's him? I've lost the fight. I do this all the time.
Cool.
Catacombs like a maze.
Yeah.
I
So
was just in
Catacombs,
Paris and I went to the catacombs and it was fucking awesome.
there you go. Um,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're cool. You're cool. Yeah, Catacombs, like a maze, is. I am a huge Greek mythology nerd. Um, so I think of like the
Hell yeah.
Minotaur and like going into the catacombs and
Okay, so with your Greek mythology, when I brought up Poseidon, you're like, hell yeah, that's my boy.
oh yeah,
You knew
yeah,
exactly. Oh, hell
yeah.
yeah.
I knew the actual story of like
Hell yeah.
Medusa, and I was just like, ooh.
I love it, dude. I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. All right, cool. Anyway, catacombs like a maze, and it's okay. Greek mythology. Sorry, I kind of geeked out. I'm like, yes,
No,
we got to talk
you're
about
good.
Greek mythology. We got to have an interview just about that sometime. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so the catacombs, like a maze, I keep running through them trying to escape the haze. The haze is, after, sorry, my cat again. After the, after you've done whatever it was, the addiction, the come down is that haze. You just feel like you're not quite yourself, like you were saying before, but then also you're just kind of lost. You just feel like, why do I keep doing this? And the catacombs is being lost, and then that unsure feeling of like, who am I? Why do I keep doing this? Is that haze? But the second part is what you were you were wondering about. The 6'4" grave. That's my height. I am 6'4". So because this song is very personable to me, I wanted to put myself into the song, being the one who's singing it, but also just personally for me, I needed to, and so climb out of my 6'4" grave is myself. Like I was viewing myself as a grave and wanting and needing to escape my own feeling of gloom and like that like feeling of like, is it ever going to change? Like, would I be better off dead? Like, why do I keep going back to this addiction? So that was the 6'4" grave.
With death around the corner, I can feel him there. It's like a mental disorder.
Yeah, death is literally the Grim Reaper.
Gotcha.
So that would be the he, even though could be an it, could be a she, who knows? But in this song, I put he because it's kind of a shadow version of myself as well. And so death around the corner is like waiting for me, like, oh, hey, you're home from a busy day at work, or you're finally home, you're finally alone. Like, come on, buddy, let's rock and roll. Let's do this. Let's party. And so I can feel him there. It's like a mental disorder. It's just that fight of like, whenever I, was alone, I would feel like there's that pull. There's that black mass again. There's the demons and the ghosts and death around the corner and just the mental disorder that I felt was like that dopamine being like, we're low on dopamine, bro. Let's go. Yeah, so those are the breakdown of those specific lyrics for sure.
Yeah, I've lost the fight. I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Let yourself down over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Just a repetitive given, and not stopping myself from the addiction, not trying to heal from the addiction, and asking myself like, why? Sure, but like not doing anything about it.
There's a quote, and it's kind of funny the way that it kind of worked out right now, in a way where this these lines right here specifically reminded me of a quote that I heard that I think about all the time. And I think about it all the time daily. But it was said by Chester Bennington of Linkin Park.
Hey, full circle.
So it's kind of fun. It's weird. We were just talking about crawling and haunting, and now something I hear in the next verse takes me back to one of Chester's quotes, and he was talking about his the song called "Heavy" that was off of their album, their last album, and I'm definitely gonna call it because they're not Linkin Park anymore. That's just my stand on where they're at right now. That band's no longer existing. Anyway, that's a different conversation for a different podcast. But when he was talking about the songwriting for their latest album, their last album, I felt it was a very heavy, very lyrically heavy album. And I broke down a lot of their songs, just dissecting them. Kind of what I'm doing now. A lot of the songs, I was just looking at the lyrics. I'm like, what does he mean by this? And one of his last interviews, he talks about how his own personal demons and his struggles. And I quote, he said, "I'm doing this to myself." And just that was like it always stuck with me. And these catacombs like a maze. I keep running through them trying to escape. It's like I know I've been this way already, but for some reason I'm gonna go this way again because I think the exit might be there, but I know that I've done this. I can go all these different ways. And I've gone through a lot of them, but I know I went that way already. So I know it's not there, but but just in case, I'm going to go through that. I'm going to go that way in the maze again. I'm doing it to myself.
Yeah.
You know, death's around the corner. It's a mental thing. I've lost the fight. I do this all the time. I've lost. I can feel. I do this. I keep trying. All the pressure is on you in this song.
Yes.
And the perfect thing that I can relate to, and it takes me to Chester's thing, Chester's quote is, "I'm doing this to myself."
Yep. It's the sad reality of any type of repetitiveness that is a negative influence on yourself, whether it be addiction or whether it just be, anger issues and such like that. Give me a second. Sorry, my cat is. He's
You're good.
What was I saying? Yeah. So like the pressure is on you when you do those things, and I think for me when I was writing the I wanted to showcase the fact that like I'm not blaming anybody for this. Like the demons and the ghosts may like be haunting me, but I'm not blaming them. Like they're not making the choice for me. And so I just wanted to put myself and then also the character in the song to be the song is technically about taking responsibility, but also not knowing how to take responsibility for the addiction. And so that was kind of something that just flowed in the lyrics, that just kind of came out like when you're writing in your like journal or something, and you're just like, it's just flowing from you, and you're like, I didn't know I had that in me. It's just kind of how it came out in the song and then when I look back at it, I was just like, wow, I'm saying
yeah.
I'm not blaming anybody for this. This is my fault.
Yeah. And I think ultimately that's a good thing. Because you're recognizing that it's something that you do have control over. You have control. Yeah, you know that you're doing it, but you also know that you have control to not do it. It's taking accountability.
Yeah. And that's the turning point. You can either be like, oh, this is my fault. So then if it's my fault, I have control over whether I can do this or not.
Yeah.
But then there's the dopamine that you're like trying to fight for as well. So there is that like feeling of being lost, like with the catacombs and the haziness that comes with it. Yeah, it all connects to tell like the story leading up to the chorus. So.
When I was in the catacombs in Paris, it was a very eerie, kind of haunting feeling. It was dark, it was cold.
Yeah.
And I think, and it went on for a long time. It almost felt like a maze too. So I feel like just saying the words catacombs, it kind of sets the tone for the entire like pre-chorus there.
Yeah.
Like, this is somewhere dark. It's uncomfortable. You don't know what's around the corner.
Right.
And it's hazy. But have fun.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I feel like you have a background in writing somehow. Do you? Or have you always loved it? Has like poetry been a big thing? Journaling, has that always been a big thing for you? Because it seems like you're able to put words very well together and get very strong points across.
Thank you. I've been writing short stories ever since I can remember. I would sit down at the computer after like when I was younger. I watched like I think like Coraline or something. And I was like, oh, dude, that's such a cool story, and like just got like, oh my gosh, my cat got stuck in the closet, man.
Oh no. But yeah, so yeah, you were talking about your background in story writing and writing short stories and stuff. Coraline, some Tim Burton stuff there.
Yep. Yeah. So just I would sit down at the computer and I would just write chapters upon chapters upon chapters, and just it was another way for my imagination to just explore. I've always been able to draw and like sketch and everything. So when I started writing stories, it was almost like bringing the drawings that I could draw to life. And then I started getting into poetry and a lot of like, the edgier, darker stuff like Edgar Allan Poe. When you're like a teenager and you're like, oh yeah, this is sick. And I mean, it is sick. It's still really good. Sick. But like just that like angst or like, getting into that stuff. And so there's definitely a background in writing and also just storytelling in general. So it just kind of came full circle, I would say, and very naturally when I started writing lyrics.
Edgar Allan Poe was such a huge inspiration to me growing up. I think that Telltale Heart is the greatest short story ever written, and that's just my opinion. I love it. I love it so much. I was in Baltimore recently, and I went to his grave to go pay respect to him there. That was nice. Baltimore is all about Edgar Allan. It's Edgar Allan Poe town. I love it.
It is. Yeah. I mean, the football team's the Ravens. Like. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. What have you ever done anything with any of those short stories? Did you ever do any filmmaking yourself, or and I'm asking because of this music video. I think you said that you shot this, so there's that filmmaking kind of creator, writer, producer kind of mindset that you have. What have you ever have you done anything with those short stories?
Not with those short stories. I still have them, and I'm. It's almost like they're so near and dear to me because of like when I wrote them, and I'd probably have to go back and be like, wow, that punctuation is awful. But like one day I do want to release like a short story or one of the books I wrote. I don't even know, it's like 40 chapters when I was younger. So
get it out.
Yeah, like I one day I probably will. And I've always wanted to write a couple of children's books. So I've written 2 children's books, I think, but and have like some artwork for it, but I just haven't like really pieced it together and like put it out there, especially with like, you know, being a husband, being in a band, 9-to-5 job. There's a lot of time that I very minusculely have when it comes to like giving away that time for like certain things. So I think one day I definitely will release some books and stuff like that, but I'm not I'm not in it right now.
Your brain kind of fascinates me a little bit. It's like, okay, you're creating music, you are directing this music video, you're shooting it, you edited it, you did that, you have these books, like these children books you want to put out, you have these short stories that you've written, and I'm sure there's other creative projects that you have going. Your mind is probably like going crazy all day.
I mean, I do have ADHD.
Yeah.
And so that is a huge, I'm just like always.
I'm the exact same way. I mean, as soon as we're done with this interview, I'm jumping on something that I'm editing next.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm always like, okay, what's the next thing, or what else can I be doing when, you know, this is kind of taking a break? Because I have to be able to fill that time somehow. Because I can't be alone with my thoughts for too long, or I'll go crazy.
No, exactly. And I think for me, you know, sitting down and writing a chapter and over and over and over again, and like drawing the characters for the book and stuff, like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And with ADHD, especially like just personally for me, like I really love starting things.
Yeah.
Finishing things is a little harder. So I think that's why like it just fits so well with like being in a band and making music. Like, you know, working, like you work on an album, okay, you work on this song, boom, done. Now you work on this song, dude. Like, you know, you can jump around a lot.
Yeah.
And it's very like structurally chaotic, which is really fun for someone like me. But when it comes to like sitting down and putting like a book together, I'm just like, the creative side sounds fun, the work does not sound fun. So one day,
this kind of brings up a topic that I've talked about on several other podcasts, on other interviews, is ADHD. And I have it, but I feel, and this is a little bit of a stretch, I don't know how I 100% feel about it, but I people with ADHD, I think our brains work very creatively and very unique. And the fact that there are, and I know there's different levels of it, but I think ADHD widely has kind of a bad rep. You know, you should be on pills, or you should be taking this, you should be taking that, you should want to tame this or calm it down. But the more that like I see what ADHD has done to me in my life, it's done more good than bad.
Yeah.
I'm also a story writer. I write scripts, so I'm a script writer. I direct, I do short films, and it comes to me because of that itch that I get to be doing something, to be creating something, you know. And I feel that it's made me who I am, and the last thing that I want to do is take medications prescribed to me to help calm that creative, crazy side of me down that I think is a huge benefit to me.
No,
it's
definitely
crazy. It's crazy how the mind works and how certain things are looked at in one way, and other people can view it completely different. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I agree, you know, like medication may not be for every. I do take medication, very small dosage, but it's just really more so to balance me out so I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
overthinking something. It also helps with like my depression. It kind of does both.
Sure.
So that does help me a lot, especially in the workplace. But like, yeah, creatively, like I think ADHD has been such a blessing, because I can hit the ground running and be like, oh, this is such a cool idea. I'm gonna go for it.
ADHD is a blessing. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I never thought of it as one, for the longest time, and actually, it didn't really dawn on me, about like how much of a creative gift it is until like, you know, I met my wife, because, you know, God bless her for like dealing with me with the ADHD sometimes.
That's how I feel about my wife, man. I'm just like, thank you for putting up with this madness.
Thank you. But she's also like encouraged my creativity, and she understands and sees like, you know, some parts can be challenging with ADHD, but other parts can be like extremely beneficial to like just creativity and even relationship in general.
Yeah.
It's never boring being with me, so
Yeah. My one thing that my wife told me that I will never ever forget, and it was very special. She told me one of the reasons she loves me is because she thinks my mind is brilliant. And my mind is a place I've never liked.
Oh wow, yeah.
I never liked being with my own thoughts, and being with me, being alone with me just sounded awful. And you know, I've gone through some really serious stuff, and I never saw my crazy side as a blessing either. And it wasn't until just the last couple years that I've realized, I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe you know what I have isn't too bad. And yeah, when she said that, she was like, your mind's brilliant. I'm just like, she's a keeper.
Don't let that one go. Yeah.
It's man, it's wild how one person can change our entire view on ourselves. And like you were saying, you know, like your wife, and how that has helped you deal with your stuff too, and that's powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very powerful.
And you know, I watched a TED Talk once, and he was explaining that he's like, you know, there's a theory that the hunters back in, you know, the dawn of the age or whatever, had ADHD because they were able to like focus so hard on like their mission of like, I need to get food, but then also like hear like surrounding noises and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, that's badass. So yeah, that's cool with me.
You're like, now I accept it. I'm owning this now. And then it made you want to go hunting the next day, didn't it? I bet it did.
Not quite.
Hunting, right? All right. Well, we're not even halfway through this song yet.
No.
Let's keep rocking out to this song for a little bit.
Cool.
I look myself in the mirror. How could I deceive her? I look at what I've become. I'm like a rerunning episode. I have trouble letting go. I'd sooner crucify myself upside down.
That's the chorus there. That's
the chorus.
There it is. I look myself in the mirror. How could I deceive her? I look at what I've become. I'm like a rerunning episode. I have trouble letting go. I'd sooner crucify myself upside down. Heavy lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot to unpack for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, start at the beginning. I look myself in the mirror.
Cool. Yeah. Looking yourself in the mirror, looking at the reflection of the person that you have been, and you're just not liking what you see. And like, you know, especially when you're in a relationship and you say like, oh, I'll get better. I'll be better. Like, I can do this. You know, in my own relationship, not in this marriage, but in the one before that, like a relationship before, essentially, like when I was struggling with the addiction, especially like, you know, the pornography addiction, is like I was looking at other women, I was deceiving my wife. And so whenever I looked in the mirror, I was like, I can't stand who I am. And I was just, how could I deceive her if I say that I love this person, but I'm continuously saying like, oh, I'll get better, I can do this, and not. And then, you know, it goes into, I'm like a rerunning episode. I have trouble letting go. It kind of like came to a, for me personally, like, I'm a big fan of like the Andy Griffith Show and like those like black and white TV shows. And, so the reruns over and over and over again, that it just kind of signifies that of, I'm like a rerunning episode that, you know, they just play it until it's just, you're sick of it.
We've seen this guy already. We know what he does. We know how this ends.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we know, you know, how Friends is going to go. We know Lost is going to end the way it did. We know all these things, and like, yeah, we still will like, you know, sit down and watch them again. And so those rerunning episodes, like I was holding on to those, the hurt of, you know, whatever my younger self was crying out for. That was a rerunning episode. Continuously looking at, you know, the pornography, or if someone is continuously doing something that is a negative to their life, you know, that's a rerunning episode. And it is hard to let go because you're becoming so enamored with it, and it's becoming so much of a part of you, that you can't tell like where you begin and where it ends, and it's almost like a codependency relationship in that way.
I'd sooner crucify myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only crucify yourself, but do it upside down.
Yes. So this one comes from kind of like religious imagery. So crucifying yourself is like, as someone who grew up in you know, the Christian church, like you learn about the crucifixion and how intense and how awful those essentially, you know, court ordered like killings, I guess, if you want to call them that, because that's essentially what they were, from like the Roman Empire. And so the crucifixion is just such a horrific way to die. And so I was basically saying, like, I would rather be crucified than deal with my stuff, deal with my addiction, deal with like myself in the mirror. Like, I just don't want to deal with this. I would rather die. and then you know, bringing it to upside down is in the Bible, Peter he chooses to be crucified upside down because he's not worthy to be crucified the way that Jesus was crucified. And so I wanted to bring in that like religious aspect to it because it's all over the song. And like whether you're, you know, of a person who believes in that or doesn't believe in that, I knew that like it's a very intense scene. And so like I was basically saying in those lyrics, like I would rather die, but I'm still not worthy of like love. I'm not worthy to look myself in the mirror and say like you're gonna be okay. It's a very detrimental lyric in the song, and it really just encapsulates the entire message of the song. Is like I'm fighting, but I don't want to fight, and I'd rather not fight and just give in because this thing has me completely.
Wow. Powerful. Powerful stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know where to go next.
It's all good.
You know, thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah.
It's very strong. It's very powerful, and honestly, you know, where the very first place that where my mind goes is, man, this guy was feeling all this stuff, because I've had a lot of these same exact thoughts that you're talking about here, and it's like, obviously you have done some deep like personal like healing journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've had, and I can tell that very, you know, looking in and realizing who you are, and finding that person within, and, you know, bringing that spark back, and because you lost yourself.
Oh yeah. It was
yeah, and
the time it took away from me, I will never get back.
You it sounds like at one point in your life you just ultimately kind of just mentally gave up and were lost. But you took those feelings and you made a song about it.
Yeah, and I will preface this too, just out of respect for the band in general. Like, even though like there's some biblical imagery in this song, it's because of like my background. But like Hollow Wake is not a Christian band. We do not, you know, push any type of message like that. So I know that, like, especially in this day and age, it can be triggering. So I just want to put that out there. Like, feel free to listen to our music. We're not in the business of shying away from the darkest parts of us, whether that be what this song is about or what another song might be about, and bringing that darkness to a place of like light and healing. But some of our songs can be triggering because we're very honest with our lyrics and such, but I don't want to like scare people away who may have a problem with religion or anything. Like, it's a safe space for everyone.
I love that. And I love how you are also just very open about your addiction. You know, to be 100% honest, I didn't know about, you know, that, but, you know, prior to this interview, and you being open made me want to be open.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about music being a safe spot, a safe place, and I think it's one thing to say that, but it's also a big thing to show it and to kind of practice what you preach on that. So I, definitely have a lot of respect for you and how open you are, and it ultimately plays into how open you are as your band's open, and it shows that you guys are actually living what you're talking about. You're experiencing what you're talking about. Like, this is real. This is Hollow Wake.
Yeah, we're not perfect, so we want to really show our darkest selves in our music and show other people and like connect with other people and say like, oh yeah, you deal with that? Yeah, we've dealt with that too.
Anybody listening, if you go to a Hollow Wake show, guarantee you're in a safe space.
Definitely. As long as you stay out of the mosh pit, if you're not like wanting to be in that, then sure, you're in a safe space.
Definitely. All right. Well, very powerful. I have some notes that I'm saving for later, but for now, let's keep. We're almost halfway there now.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think I deserve much else. A firestorm, it burns within. It's getting harder as the smoke rises to breathe. And now I finally see cells start to collapse, and I'm captured once again on the inside.
Before the this new verse started, there was a one-liner in there. Because I don't think I deserve much else. Mm-hmm. And that came after the chorus. So it's, I have trouble letting go. I'd sooner crucify myself upside down, because I don't think I deserve much else.
Yeah.
And then the next verse says, paranoia takes me over like a match in the wind, which takes it right out. A firestorm, it burns within. It's getting harder as the smoke rises to breathe, and now I can finally see.
Yeah. The paranoia of when you're doing something behind someone's back, and you don't want to get caught. That's the paranoia. It takes me over like a match in the wind, very easily. If the scene is correct and everything is in order, then one little match can start a huge fire, like a forest fire. So that's what I was kind of thinking of, when the paranoia can just make me be like, almost act like a different part of me. Like I'm not actually me when I'm lying through my teeth and saying like, yeah, no, everything's fine. And but on the inside, it's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing, where it's just like, yep, nope, everything's fine. But on the inside, you're like, I'm losing it.
Good reference there, the Jekyll and Hyde. I love that movie. It's a very powerful movie. Very powerful message and powerful story.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of truth behind it. We can be completely different on the inside and on the outside.
Yeah.
And it's scary how much you can get them mixed up and confused, and how it can kind of, dictate how you live your life.
Yeah, and how others.
And again, I'm doing this to myself.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're doing it to yourself. It's getting harder as smoke rises to breathe, and now I can finally see. Kind of continues into the pre-chorus, but basically from the fire. If you're in any type of fire environment and it's just ablaze and smoke is everywhere, you kind of have to like drop to the floor. You have to grab any type of oxygen that you can in order to stay alive, and that's that the thin oxygen that is there that keeps you alive is how I felt in feel like saying like everything's fine, but on the inside being like that's not fine at all. Like I'm actually hanging on by like the thinnest strand. So that's what that verse is about.
Well, because you said these final lyrics here and this verse kind of goes into the pre-chorus. So let's just go straight to listening to that.
Yeah.
Once again on the inside, now I fear I'll never see the light. I'm lost once again, never gonna call him my dear friend. My shadow self is killing me all the time. The snakes have come out to play. Now
the way verse 2 ended, now I can finally see. This house starts to collapse, and I'm captured once again on the inside. Now I fear I'll never see the light. I'm lost once again. Never call him my dear friend. My shadow self is killing me all the time. He keeps on haunting me tonight. The house starts to collapse. The house is kind of just you. Everything.
Yeah. It's everything.
The brain affects everything. It affects your arms, your legs. You just feel your body collapsing. I'm captured. It took over me again.
Yep.
Captured once again in the inside. This feeling, this inner voice said, "Go again. Let's try it. Let's try it. Try it again." Now I fear I'll never see the light, because now it's taking control over me in many different aspects, and now it's like I don't know if I'll ever see differently again, and who knows how much of this can control me, and I'm lost once again. I'm doing this to myself. I'm lost. It's this thing that just keeps repeating. I'm never going to call him my friend, and my shadow self is killing me all the time. So you're talking about I'll never call him my dear friend. You're talking about like yourself. You'll never be able to tell yourself. And that's just destroying kind of every ounce of you. Like not only is it not only is it destroying you mentally, but it almost feels like it's physically too. My shadow self is killing me. I can't even call myself my friend anymore because I hate this person that I am.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I'm living like I'm saying your lyrics, but like I'm feeling it when I was going through these things, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. And I'm like, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I know this feeling here. I know it.
Yeah. And the house being that, like, it's really cool that you connected the house to the brain and the functionality and stuff. That's really cool. Because, like, again, like the power of lyrics and the power of music.
Yeah.
When I wrote it, it was more so like, for me, the house was the relationship of like between the girl and the guy, or me and anybody else.
Okay.
I didn't want to be around people. So that safety is, houses are supposed to keep you safe, and that was just collapsing on me. But the way that you described the brain as well, like that's a huge connection that, like, not in a bad way, like I think it's beautiful that like it connected in that way, because you're right, like when you're constantly doing something over and over again and it's habitual and it's an addiction, like it is all about like your brain, and you just feel like your brain is just not working the way it should. It's collapsing on itself. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Well, it was your lyrics that sparked that in me. And
Yeah.
it's so crazy how, music is so kind of subjective to so many people. Like somebody can read something and take it for face value, or flip
Mhm.
it and see it a different way, or connect their own experiences and flip it that way. And it's just so we talk about nostalgia and fans out and seeing their bands and singing lyrics, and it's like every single one of those people connect to those lyrics in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
uniquely, yes.
we've all heard the song. We know the guitar riffs. We know what the lyrics are, but it's the feeling there. It's all these different moments and different people and different thoughts just combining together at once, and it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's so cool because I might be at a concert, and that nostalgia is like, oh man, I love this part. This is so good. Like when the vocalist just screams this, I can scream it with him, and it's really fun. But then you look over and you're like, she's bawling.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling what she's feeling.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool and special.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just shows that, like, the different levels of, how strong music is.
Yeah.
It is
Definitely.
one of the strongest things in the world.
It's one of the greatest gifts that we have as humans to express ourselves, and I don't take it for granted that I can write music and perform and stuff. I think it's one of, like, just the greatest things that we can do creatively, because, like, you can tell a story and you can also sing the story. You can connect, and people hear it over and over again, and it connects to them, and I think that's just really powerful in itself.
All right, well, let's get into the bridge here.
Yeah.
Let's keep rocking out.
Now I fear that I will never escape. I'm collapsed and abandoned, left on the floor, restless and lifeless, but still wanting more. Now I see the errors of my ways. I'm sorry. I look myself.
The snakes have come out to play. Now I fear that I will never escape. I'm collapsed and abandoned, left on the floor, breathless and lifeless, but still wanting more. And now I see the errors of my ways. I'm sorry. I mean, this exact thing happened to me. Collapsed. And when I did, I felt I was abandoned. I was on the floor, breathless, basically lifeless.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like this song connects a lot to me, personally.
That's
Like, I feel like I get
that's
it.
awesome.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, snakes that have come out to play. I'm gonna break your bridge down and tell my story. Let me break down this song and with what I think. But snakes, is that kind of like just not knowing who to trust, and kind of people, and
In a way,
not really knowing the true side of somebody and stuff like that? Or
it's kind of it's a little poetic dig at the. It's harsh to say, but it's kind of where, like, my head was at. It kind of goes back to, like, the pull of, like, what I was watching. And so the snakes were basically like the women that I was engaging mentally with. And so I'm sure every single one of them have a beautiful personality and stuff. I'm not calling them, any derogatory thing, but like for me, it's like that like the snakes and the temptation and like the thing that I feared when I was a kid was snakes. I had to go to therapy for a phobia of snakes. And so for me it was like this fear that keeps like pulling me in. These women, and it wasn't their fault. Again, I was doing it to myself, but like the snakes have come out to play once again, and now I fear like I can't escape. And then the collapse and abandoned, left on the floor, breathless and lifeless, but still wanting more. That's literally coming to a place of like accepting like I've given everything to this addiction. I have lost a relationship because of this addiction. I have said things to friends because I wasn't myself because of the addiction. I've given up time because of the addiction. And now I see the errors of my ways. I'm sorry. And that brings into more of a 180 of like saying sorry and the repentance of like I have been hurting people. Like this has affected me. I'm the one who's hurting the most, but like this is also hurting the people around me. So the errors of my ways goes into that, and then I'm sorry is saying sorry to the people around you, but also to yourself, and saying like I've been doing this to myself. I'm really sorry about that.
It's just another example of the accountability that we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
Taking accountability from not just one thing, but just, I know I'm doing this. I know I'm doing this. I've done this. I've ruined a relationship. It's just like not letting that just take complete control. Because it sounds like it could have, and maybe it did for a minute, but it sounds like you took the control back once you realized that you did have the control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why everything in the song is I.
Yeah.
So accountability is huge, and it's a great step. It really is.
Yeah, it's a step towards healing for sure. And when you're feeling displaced because of that place you're in, whatever it is, the accountability to drop to the lowest point, whether it be a floor, whether it be metaphorically something of another significance, but like you have to drop to your lowest point to finally say like there's nothing else lower than this. So like what is up? Oh, I'm actually lifting my head up and being like I've dug my hole so deep. So now the only way I can get out is either to stay here or to start climbing.
Yeah, 6'4" is not an easy climb up.
No, sometimes not.
It's not gonna be an easy task, man. Yeah. The point is to never get in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, try not to. And if you
try
do,
not to get in there.
It's important to know, like, yes, you're doing it to yourself, but there is always like forgiveness to yourself.
Yeah.
In like whatever you do.
And it sounds, a lot easier said than done. But forgiving yourself is a very, very hard thing to do.
It is.
And I think once you can forgive yourself, it's this huge weight lifted off of you. And you feel like you can breathe again and live again. It's wild, the things that we put on ourselves.
And I think a lot of times, like, we're taught growing up that, like, oh, your sibling did this something to you, and it's just like, say you're sorry and say you forgive them. and like, sure, that's really good to teach kids, but also like forgiveness isn't just like I forgive you and like we're good. Like it's a timely process.
Yeah.
And so like I'm still forgiving myself for what the song is about. And like I still feel that guilt. I still feel that shame. And so, you know, I have forgiven myself for what I've done to myself. But there is that like time heals all wounds, and it's true. So
yeah, forgiveness, especially to yourself, it's a very powerful thing.
yeah.
Well, that's it with new lyrics, but let's keep listening to it and let's write this song out.
Sure.
All right.
I look myself in the mirror. How could I deceive her? I look at what I've become. I'm like a rerunning episode. I have trouble letting go. I sooner crucify myself upside down. Upside down. Upside down.
That was Upside Down reimagined from Hollow Wake. That's a heavy song.
Yeah.
That is a very heavy song. So my first question to you after doing this breakdown and learning a little bit about you, do you feel that the release, not the writing and recording or anything, but the release of this song, how did that make you feel about your situation and forgiving yourself? Do you feel like once this song was out, you're like, I can finally let this go? And not just the song, but just everything together. Like putting the song out, putting the lyrics out. This is a big moment for me to let this go and leave it in the past, leave it on the track, leave it for listeners. Let the listeners decide what this song is about. I've moved on from this. Was that at all? Like, how was the release of this song, knowing how much of a heavy background it came with? How did that release go for you mentally?
Yeah, no, that's an awesome question. When I first released it, when we started playing it live and the older band, I was connected still very, very much to the lyrics, feeling just like, yeah, this is a cool song, and I didn't really understand the significance of what I had written. I knew it was a very heavy song. I knew it was deep. I knew it was lyrically personal. I just didn't know like how much it was going to mean to me to hear the final version of the song. And so, you know, when I started going to therapy and started healing from the addiction, and learning like about dopamine and learning about like how my brain works and my younger self and all this very beautiful and positive things, it all started connecting a lot more than it did before. And so, you know, writing the rework again and going in and adding the synths and the production that's not in the original and bringing it to like the Hollow Lake Standard was another deep dive into this song for me. Um, Even though we were playing it live and I was singing the lyrics, you know, when you're on stage, um, it's almost muscle memory. Like you're just like, yeah, this is, I know of this song. This is how this song goes. I'm performing, like having fun, but sitting back down with it and writing the reimagined version and being like, how am I gonna expose myself again from the lyrics and now to the production to really bring it all together and make it kind of close the book
Yeah.
on it. And so I wanted the reimagined version to have the strings and the violins and to really bring this heavy song to almost like a light feeling. Um, so like the lyrics,
Overcoming, and like an
yeah,
overcoming.
exactly. Like it's more so like, oh, we've overcome this. This is beautiful. And then you have the reworked version, which is like, we didn't listen to it, but there's a voice in the very beginning of it, and it basically says like, I'm your number one fan, and you're gonna be just fine. Basically, that the voices are saying like, nah, you're good, don't worry about it. And I wanted to bring that part into that side of the production because I wanted there to be like that emptiness and that calling out. So to answer your question about the release, like, yeah, it felt, because of all the healing I did, it felt strangely distant in the most beautiful and positive way it could be. And at the same time, it felt like, wow, I was going through something. And, you know, all of the lyrics that I've written so far, except for one song, are like very, very internal and very like heavy lyrically. And, you know, some have trigger warnings, if you want to call them that. But this song to me, it just felt like a breath of fresh air to be like, this is upside down. This is how I've always imagined it sounding. Writing it 5 to 9, I don't even know, 9 years ago on my acoustic guitar and struggling with what I was struggling with, to now being 35 and seeing that younger self and being like, I understand, but I'm not that person anymore. I can relate to people like we're doing right now with the song, and we can talk about the breaking down of lyrics, and it takes me back to that younger self who was like calling out. But for me, it's like there's that healing of release and being like, it's almost like looking at a photo on a fridge, and you're looking at it and you're like, hey, that was me, and I was like swinging on a rope when I was younger. I don't swing on ropes anymore. But I can still be like, I see you, and that brings me back to that memory. And so I can move on from the lyrics, but also know that the lyrics can connect with other people on different levels. You know, someone may not know the story of my addiction, but their addiction, they can connect it with. And that's the beautiful part of this release for me, is like, this is your song now. Like, tell your story. And I made the lyrics so poetic and so mysterious on purpose, because I was feeling that way, and it made sense in my mind, but someone else could hear, you know, the lyrics and feel completely different, and they could still connect to, wow, this is a very sorrowful song, this is very heavy, and I think that that's just the best part for me is like getting to share the story of Upside Down, but also hearing like your take on the lyrics and then hearing other people's and fans at shows who have come up and like said like this is so good, it meant so much when you wrote that, and I can be like, that's amazing, I'm really glad that touched you, knowing that that's not why I wrote it, but like you're getting something out of it, this is helping you, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to go back on is when you were talking about looking at the picture like on a refrigerator, looking back at a time.
Yeah.
Never for how do I say it? It's always like for example, this overcoming the addiction. This was definitely a healing part of the healing journey for you. Writing the song and producing it and everything.
Yeah.
But that made you who you are today.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah, and so you never want to release it in a way where it's like you never want to remember it again, because it's very, very important to remember those things. Yeah. Because if you forgot about it, you might make the same mistake again. Yeah. And so the last thing you want to do is forget about the hard time you went through, especially in a place where you can look back on it and be like, I went through that. I did that.
Yeah.
And those pictures, you know, it's more than a picture. It's more than a memory. It's a whole. It's motivation. It's hey, I got through this. I can get through that again. Yeah. Or I've been pushed to the bottom of the bottom, left on the floor, breathless and lifeless. But look at me. I'm playing a show in a couple days, and I'm singing my music. I'm sharing my story, and you never want to let go and forget these things. They should always be there. Should always be there. But it's how you look at it now. That's where it is, because you have to look at it as like a learning and be thankful and blessed that you had that opportunity, but you don't want to repeat it again.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
definitely.
It's great to.
I think to piggyback off of that, when it comes to 20 years down the road for me, this song will be nostalgic for me. I can look back on it and be like, oh my gosh, I had so much fun when I was singing this song, and then I can even go deeper and be like, I might be a little bit more disconnected to the hurt because the healing and everything, but I will never forget the reason why I wrote the song and why it connected with me so deeply, and why I was like, first band, hey, you want to play this song? Okay, cool. Band breaks up. I'm taking this song. There's something about this that I'm holding on to. And I can finally feel like I released it into an environment, whether it be in Hollow Wake or, just the way that it sounds and everything, to be proud of it. And so 20 years from now, look back and be like, that's a damn good song. And I'm really, really stoked on it still.
It's almost like this song is part of you. Like it's almost like a trophy.
Yeah.
I earned this.
Yes.
This is mine. And I'm sharing it with you. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very inspiring. So to kind of I was gonna say wrap it up, but there was one more question I wanted to ask.
Go for it. Yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
All right, just because I know it's been on the longer side, but it's a great conversation. I'm loving it. So you talk about your own personal healing journey, and it is very, very obvious through this song and learning who you are that you have done some serious inner work and were serious about coming back and back to life almost. Um, how has music, and I'm not even talking about your own music,
Yeah.
so we're gonna change it for just for a second. How has music helped you going through your healing time to get you to be able to where you're at now,
Yeah.
writing this music and being able to let it go?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's music has been such a cornerstone in my life since I can remember. Um, so it's always been such an important piece of who I am. Um, so the healing journey, it's a broad question, but I love it. I can listen to Name by the Goo Goo Dolls, and you hear like the acoustic opening to it, and you're like, wow, like such a beautiful opening. The song is sad, but like that connection of like the sadness and the brokenness, it I think the music just can connect in general. So for me personally, like I can listen to I'm trying to remember the name of the song. It's a Rise Against song. To Them These Streets Belong. And it's about like technically it's about protesting, but like when I was listening to it back then, there's a line that says, my hands are soaking in the blood of angels, with broken wings they collapse. So like as an angsty teenager, when I listened to it, I felt that. I felt like I was, you know, just blood on my hands from whatever choices I was making, and putting that shame on myself. And listening to it now, I'm like, this is a sick song, but I still have that connection to how I felt. And so the healing journey for me, it just comes down to like, music is a powerful like healing tool. And you can listen to a band like Slipknot and heal from them, or heal from your hurt through them.
Right.
You can listen to Madonna and heal in some way. I personally can't, but I'm sure someone else out there can, as an example though. But like, I think, yeah, music has helped heal me in so many ways outside of my own creation of, those songs that I write, but even the songs that I listen to as well.
Yeah. So seeing how music has kind of saved your life in many ways, it sounds like, and it's been there for you, the times you need it the most. Looking at you have successfully gone through this crazy journey of where you were to getting out of it, to writing a song about it, to getting it out, and now playing it at shows, and then adding more to it later. Going through this entire journey here, what advice would you give to somebody who looks at this story and be like, man, that Bobby guy, man, what an inspiration. How do I start where he started? If you can give somebody just one thing and be like, this is how you start, this is my best advice for you, what would you tell him who wants to do what you do?
Yeah. Honestly, just don't be afraid to be creative. I didn't know how to play guitar. And so me being in an empty apartment, luckily, hitting wrong chords and knowing like, that can't be right. Um, because when I showed the band at the time, I was like, "Hey, here's how you play the chords." They were like, "What the hell are those chords?" I don't know. I don't play guitar. So don't be afraid to like be creative and put yourself out there. Uh, try not to put yourself in a box when it comes to your creativity. You can have inspiration. That's perfectly fine. But just know like you're your own person and your creativity should be uniquely to you because your story matters just as much as my story matters, just as much as A, B, and C's story matters. So, just start writing. And if you don't play an instrument, start, journaling. Uh, whatever drives you to, like, whatever you're into, just lean into it and see where it takes you. Because for me, I knew I'd always wanted to be in a band and sing in a band, but further back, before I even moved, I was a drummer in a synth pop band, and I did backup vocals, and that was fun. But I knew deep down, like that's not what I wanted. I wanted to learn how to sing. I wanted to learn how to scream. I wanted to express that like dark heaviness inside of me. And so yeah, just don't be afraid that it's going to sound weird. Don't be afraid that you're hitting, the wrong chords or you're not sounding like Bad Omens or anything like that. Like just be yourself and express how you want to express yourself. And there's a billion people on this planet. You'll have people listen to your music and they will connect with it.
I think what your story and your approach with your music kind of tells the story on its own. It's stay true to who you are, and don't try to please everybody, and be you, because
Yeah,
that's when you're gonna have the most fun. Stay
exactly.
true to yourself.
Yeah, if you're not completely honest with your art, um, it's kind of like what we said in the very beginning of you're not gonna your passion is gonna like die out if you're just playing the you know copycat game so much and you're not putting yourself into it, then eventually you're gonna hit a wall and you're not gonna know what to do.
Yeah.
And so just be yourself and be creative within that, and don't be afraid of like looking weird, because deep down we're all weird, we all struggle with stuff. um so I think, yeah, it's been a very healing journey for me to release this song, um technically three times: the original, the reimagined, and the reworked. And each point changing things and doing stuff different. um I didn't feel like I was losing any part of me.
Good. So I was on your band page, on your Instagram page, and there was a photo that stood out to me a little bit, and
Okay.
it was one that made me want to reach out to you guys. And I'm like, you know what, I think this might be a good fit. There was a post on there that said "You matter,"
Hmm.
and now hearing your story about how much the music means to you, and the heaviness around it all, and how it's so personal, telling your fans you matter. Mental health, is this a big role in your music? And are you trying to make music that inspires and tells a good story? And is mental health something that's a big factor in your music and how you go about creating art now?
Yes and no. I would say that mental health, personally, for all of us in the band, is a very pivotal point in our life, whatever that looks like. And we all try to do our best with our like own mental health, and staying on top of things, and not trying to uh downspire or anything like that. But so it just kind of comes out naturally in our writing. Mental health is extremely important to me, and my wife. We champion that together. So
That's awesome.
uh for me, thank you. For me, being the main lyricist for the most part, because Josh he'll hop in and edit some stuff and say maybe this sounds better and stuff. Um, but yeah, I think just in general we're very passionate about mental health. We love sharing our stories and being open about it. I wouldn't necessarily say like we're a band that is all like writes from that place of mental health. It's just we write what we know and what we're passionate about, and um, we have some songs that are very personal and have been written from a personal lens, and then we also have some songs that are like telling a story because we're all storytellers and we enjoy that. So, the character in the song may not be necessarily like our story completely, but we put ourselves in a lot of our writing. So
Yeah.
I would say that, we've
And it
played mental
shows
health.
too. It shows.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So yeah, we do put a lot of emphasis on mental health, and we put a lot of emphasis on being yourself, and that, no matter what you're going through, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And um, but don't be afraid to like look at your darkest self and say like, this is where I'm at, and that's what Hollow Lake is really about. Um, and we played mental health uh, festival. We've played different mental health events, and it's definitely something that we're very passionate about, and we're always down to like conversate about and have um, good communication with. But I wouldn't say like we are writing from that place. It's just it flows out of us naturally.
Yeah.
And I'll put this out there too, because you mentioned the picture "You Matter." Um, I think it was either mental health worldwide like day or something. I can't remember if it was that or if it was like um, National Suicide Awareness or something. But we're always trying to stay on top of like telling our fans or anybody who just comes across this that like you do matter. Like what you are has a huge significance in this world, whether you feel small or not. We don't ever want to come across as like rock star mentality of like, oh yeah, we're in a band, so we're better. We're not. We're just genuine. We try to be as genuine as possible. Um, so staying on top of those dates is very important to us because we connect with them, but also we know that it's a it's a way to connect in a very beautiful and meaningful way, to just say like you matter, because there's a lot of people who think that they don't, and that's really
Yeah.
sad. And
Yeah.
um, lyrically, I may have overcome a lot through like Upside Down, but there's a lot that I'm still like struggling with, and there's still a lot that I'm
Sure.
still writing about. And um yeah, it makes really good lyrics and it makes really good music, but it Hollow Wake to me is a vessel of like healing.
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, it sounds like you found the positive, spin on all of it, where you kind of use your pain to motivate you to make music and make something creative, and creating that own space to be able to do that, to clear your head of it and put it into the music. That's where it's gonna stay, and that's where it's
perfectly said. Yeah, perfectly said.
Yeah. So after listening to Upside Down, where can everybody go find everything else that you guys have out? Where's the best place to go?
Man, with all the streaming service, whatever you listen to music on.
The CD is at Tower Records now.
We're everywhere except for a CD, I guess. Like Apple Music, Spotify. Music videos live on YouTube, and
awesome.
We have a website, hollowake.com. We have I'm just gonna throw this out there because why not. We have some sick merch. Should go check it out. Yeah,
I'm actually going to start the interview with you saying that we got some sick merch.
We got some
That's
sick
how
merch.
it started.
But yeah, I created it all, so I'm very proud of it.
Very cool
to plug it. But yeah, like anything Hollowake, Instagram is the best place to keep up with us. That's like our main hub. TikTok, we do our best. And then so it'd be TikTok, our website, and then whatever streaming platform you want to listen to it on.
Amazing. Well, Bobby, thank you, dude, for spending the last couple hours with me talking some stories and some music, and it was a great chat. Your story's very inspirational. Your song's inspirational. And I think anybody watching or listening could, take away quite a few positives from everything that you said. So thank you for being open and sharing your story. And we gotta do this again sometime.
Yeah, plenty of lyrics to.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I mean, after this one, I'm like, okay. I gotta check out these other lyrics now. So everybody, do the same as I'm gonna do. Go check out more Hollowake music on all the platforms. Follow them on Instagram, and thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so much. This has been such a blast. Yeah, it's been really fun.